My sister gave me this old wall tent frame. She had this set up outside of her place, you know, with the canvas on it and all that. The wind around where we live is tremendous. So you got this missing section here. What I plan on doing is making this into a greenhouse. I don't want this missing section because I want to be able to come in here like this, put the door right here, and go straight into it and have these two cells be greenhouse. Look, I can walk in here pretty good, so I know I've got enough clearance. I don't need it to go any higher than this. I can hang tomato plants and hanging baskets and flowers and stuff from the middle. I could have shelves. I could do a lot here. Thinking about how to put this thing in place. One thing I'm going to try is, I don't think these, I don't know how they're related. They've got the same company, Wheatland Western, on the little white tag down there. That's on that, so that's on these pieces of metal, so it's from the same wall tent. I just don't know. Maybe they're supposed to pin down outrigger lines or something like that. So anyway, I had to bend this back. These were all in terrible shape, because the wind tore it up and bent this metal frame all over the place. That's why she gave it to me. It was in pretty bad shape. So I took the sledgehammer yesterday and I set this up. I think what I'm going to do is not even try. All right. Terrible thing about these cameras is they do what you don't want them to do. You know, these phones, well, especially the AI. God, I hate AI on phones. Always trying to change the words I write when I write a comment for YouTube or something like that. This morning I was writing several comments, and damn, if you don't watch as you're typing to make sure that it doesn't change what you're saying to something else, it can entirely change the meaning of what you write. So anyway, I think I'm going to pound these into the ground. This is going to be an experiment. I'll pound them into the ground, and they can be in the middle between of the thicker pipe that's you know, hollow. And I've got 6 of them now. I could have 8, because I did use some of them for the fence over there to keep the bottom pinned down so the dog couldn't get underneath the fence. He was trying to do that for an exploit. Put them in there, drive them down, and then when I put, I don't know, plastic, I have some like visqueen that I could put over on the sides maybe. I mean, when you're out here in a place like this, you do have to consider your costs. I spend too much money on a fixed income now that I'm on Social Security. And so I need to think about that, get my costs down. The constraints are real. But it doesn't mean you can't come up with a solution. The challenges, they make you be creative. So like acrylic panels, I think, on the roof, the kind of thing that would be semi-opaque, so that you don't have direct sunlight coming down on all your plants, you know, but lets in enough light that you grow. The visqueen on the sides would not be too bad. And of course, this part here, see, I thought maybe on the ground here, I might be able to get some flat stone and pave this, you know, and then over here, make this a little patio to sit on. I've already planted grass seed in this area on the ground. I don't know if it'll grow because, you know, trying to get anything to grow out here without a whole lot of water is pretty tough. But eventually, there's my, I put that rock wall around the cistern. I'm starting to get it finished. I can show you something about that too. I did an experiment where I tried to use these anchors and cement them into place. See, I put these on pillars because, but they're not thick enough. And even though I let the cement cure a bit before I tried to tighten the bolts, the anchors, when they fatten up from putting the bolt in there, it just breaks that concrete all to pieces. So instead, what I did was I drilled some more holes, a couple more. I plan on just getting some all thread. I'll put it up through on the bottom and, bend the end of it and then concrete the whole thing through so it's a solid deal. At this angle, which you can't tell too much from here, but it's higher at that end than it is at this end, so that it will drain water when it rains. Even though we don't get much rain, we do sometimes get the occasional heavy storm. That's what it's like in the high desert. And so the water will come this way. And the door, you can see that cut out, to get access to this top of the cistern where you can add more water, will go here. It's just something that flips up, either left or right, whichever way I want it to. Then I can get to my controls and different things. And we'll see how it goes. It's funny how so much of the world, so much of life is about trial and error and experiment and figuring out how to do things and whatever. It's beautiful is what it is. It's not, funny, not funny ha-ha, but funny interesting, funny strange kind of in a way. Funny human.